So what are we talking about this week? Are we starting June?
No, not yet. But
Okay.
we are starting now for week 22 of What Did Prince Do This Week. Let me see. I have a janky setup this week, so I got to make sure our music is in a good place. That's not too loud, is it?
No.
All right. Okay, so we got Cassandra Bradley first in the chat from the ATL.
Oh, okay.
We got Andre Staley from Detroit. What up, though? And
What up, though?
Andre's asking, am I excited about Celebration or nah? If I'm not excited about Celebration, I don't know who else. We gotta stay positive. We gotta stay riding or dying for Prince. That's what we do.
You gotta keep the energy up.
Gotta keep the energy up. If we can't keep the energy up, who else is gonna keep the energy up?
Yeah.
So we got Dread Dances in the house. Happy Saturday.
What's up, Dread?
Rain Day in the Shy. Wow, pasta simmers on the stove in June.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. Thank you for reminding me we're actually in June. I forgot that. I thought we were still in.
Gemini rising. It has risen.
Yes, it has. Happy June. We got Kimberly. Beautiful spring weather in West Fargo, North Dakota today. Yes.
Okay.
Weather is good.
North Dakota in the house.
North Dakota's in the house. We got Nick Felden from Denver. Howdy.
All right, what's up?
We got Shalimar from Michigan. We got Kyle Christian in the house. We got Lee Christian, which is hello, 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 hello. All right, we got Man Ray 10. Happy beginning of Celebration Month. That's what I'm talking about, Man Ray 10.
You know, it's Black Music Month, too. June is Black Music Month. So.
Yes, June is also Black Music Month. So we are very excited about June. Also, Prince's birthday is coming up very, very soon. I'm sure a lot of you guys are headed to Minneapolis. I wish I could go there with you. Who's going to Minneapolis for the birthday?
Yeah.
We got Mila, my heart, welcome. We got Sister Charles from Houston. I hope Houston's in the house. How's everything in Houston? Did everybody get their electricity back and all that? Let us know.
Oh, yeah, they had some.
Yeah, they had some natural occurrences down there.
Yeah.
Good morning, Ray One. Unfortunately, Michael Dean isn't here with us this week because he's not feeling well, but we got Ricky Wyatt in the house. I'm super excited. Thank you, Ricky, for coming to the rescue. And Raymond says, I got the Purple Rain 4K on my Apple TV and the picture is clear.
Okay.
Amazing. We got Vanessa in the house. We got JD in dreary and chilly LA.
What? I never heard that one from LA.
Yeah.
That's a new one.
That's a new one, but it's actually cold out in California, more so than you would think because they're by the water.
Yeah.
So I remember my first time going, I could wear short sleeves and shorts, and I had to put my coat and sweaters and stuff on. It was too chilly by the water for me. Welcome, Theo. It's always a pleasure to have you here. Good afternoon. Maryland always representing. That's
MD
right.
in the house.
Ronald D is in the house. I'm glad to hear that Houston is doing much better. Thank you for letting us know, Sister Charles. We really appreciate it. Uh-oh, we got Jesse in the house. What's up, Jesse? I miss you, Jesse. I hope you're well. You got to go on a walk or something soon.
Someone asked if it was
What?
Jesse Johnson's birthday today.
I think it is Jesse Johnson's birthday today.
Okay.
If Facebook is correct. Facebook told me it's Jesse Johnson's birthday.
What?
Yeah.
Big shout out to Jesse.
Big shout out to Jesse. We love you, Jesse Johnson.
Yeah.
All right. We got Kim, my timekeeper in the house. Yes.
Yeah, we have water.
All right. Is something going on where you are? Ricky, is everything okay?
Yeah. It's cool over here where I'm at.
Okay.
It's cool.
Yeah, we gotta get our walk on, Jesse. That's for sure. And yes, Happy forever, Jesse Johnson, the one and only. There will never be another.
I have to spend Shockadelica, man, every shade of love today, and verbal penetration, and Tomorrow in the Scene, and The Crash, and all those.
And all of
All
those.
those things related to Jesse.
Yeah, don't sleep on The Crash. The Crash.
I know, right?
Yeah. Especially for me, the first album. Love that first album. All right, so let's get started with that housekeeping. For those of you who don't know, What Did Prince Do This Week is a very slow read of Duane Tudahl's Prince Studio Sessions book series through an interactive weekly online book club and Saturday salon. Echoing the spirit of the Harlem Renaissance, we are here every Saturday at noon. Yes. Kim, City of Atlanta water main break ×2 since yesterday. I think they have to close down the Georgia Aquarium and all sorts of stuff. So yes.
That's wow.
And we got Love Sexy 71. I don't have my Love Sexy button, so we're gonna have to do Love Sexy. So,
cue it up.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna fade out the music here. And all right, so let's get through the housekeeping with the quickness. We're going week to week, not day to date, but hopefully everybody understands what that means by now. You can follow the detailed schedule at this bit.ly link or the QR code. You do not need the expanded edition to participate, but the schedule is based on it. And yes, these will be archived on my YouTube channel. This one will not be archived on at MD because Michael's not here today. But please subscribe, like, and help spread the word. And our hashtag is WDPDTW. And we have this disclaimer: the state of Prince Rogers Nelson is not affiliated, associated, or connected with the What Did Prince Do This Week book club series. In other words, this is an independent endeavor. And we just played 15 Minutes of Shame by LP Music, which is Eric Leeds and Paul Peterson from their 2017 record, No Words. It's incredible. And if you want to hear this, you got to get it, Ricky. And also on the accompanying playlist on YouTube, which is you go to my YouTube channel at Polished Style, you go all the way down to the bottom, you'll see all the accompanying playlists for all the What Did Prince Do This Week episodes. And this week, I included a live version of 15 Minutes of Shame, which was recorded in 2019, live at the Ice House. I was there. It was an incredible show, and it's something you should definitely see if you're in it. And JD, thank you for this. Can't forget Jesse's work with Sue Ann Carwell, as well as Jesse Johnson's work with Vanity, because Jesse is my favorite Vanity producer. With her 2 songs off of Action Jackson. The banger for me is Undress, which was produced by Jesse Johnson. I really wish that he would have done an entire album with Vanity. He actually did an entire album with Sue Ann Carwell, a blues album. Yeah. So at least we got that. But yeah.
Is this stuff available? Is there stuff available on? Is it just available these days? I know some stuff is out of print. I don't know. Is her blues album still available? Is it still out there?
That's a good question. I don't know if you can still purchase it, but that's something. Maybe somebody in the chat, if you can do your Googles really quick for us and see what's going on with the blues album, Jesse Johnson and Sue Ann, and it's Blues in My Sunshine.
Okay.
If somebody can check that out, that'd be great. Okay. So on 15 Minutes of Shame, I'm not going to go through everything, but it's composed and produced by Eric Leeds and Paul Peterson. And Eric Leeds is on tenor and baritone saxophone, flute, melodica, piano and keyboards, all horn arrangements. And Paul Peterson is on the bass. Paul is underrated on his bass playing, keyboards, guitar, vocal, and brushes. And then we got Mike Stern on guitar solo and everybody else. All right. And JD has confirmed, yes, Blues in My Sunshine is out of print.
Somebody load that up to YouTube.
Yeah. Oh,
do us a favor.
Yes. I'm sure it's got to be on YouTube. I'm sure it's streaming somewhere, but
Yeah.
Tanja is reporting in from DC at Andrea Swenson's book signing. We
Oh
had
yeah.
an amazing conversation with Andrea last week about her brand new book called Purple Rain 40.
Yeah. Kudos
So,
on it. Bravo. I caught that. You guys did a
yeah,
great job.
thank you. Thank you. So, Tanja, I don't know if you can hear us this year at the,
Yeah. The
at the
books.
book signing, but if you watch this later, it would be great to hear if you could have let us know what happened. That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
All right.
Is
So
is this LP music thing still available? As far as you know.
I don't think so because that was like a special. They did a whole campaign and it was like what is I can't remember what they did it through. It was something like Re Music, something. It started with a Re. Somebody can help me out because my mental Rolodex is bad. All right, we got Anna B. Thank you. Good morning. And all right, so let's get into week 22 of What Did Prince Do This Week? What we know. Thanks, Anil Dash. And this is episodes that the consecutive, like 73 consecutive episodes every Saturday. So, I got
Consistency.
I got friends. I
You
can't
got
believe
friends.
I
You
got
got
friends.
friends.
I got friends. So I am so elated that not only do I have Ricky Wyatt, but another dear friend has just joined us, none other than the one and only C Liegh McInnis.
Uh,
Right when we
I'm
brought up
your,
the blues, he comes up.
Yay!
I'm your friend in low places. I'm the friend in low places. That's you understand. I'm
Is he
you
from out of the
understand.
shadows?
There you go. There you go. So good morning, good morning.
Good
As,
morning.
as they used to say, WDIA,
What's up, Dr.
WDIA, Rufus Thomas. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Thank you so much, C Liegh, for answering my back signal. I really appreciate it. Yeah, C Liegh is definitely in the house. And yes, Andrea was at the JD. Did you go to the Purple Rain screening? I'm assuming you went to the Purple Rain screening last week. Let us know how it was. I know someone posted a video, but I haven't had an opportunity to watch it yet. So
Yeah,
then,
I was gonna ask you about that because I posted the video in the newsletter and then didn't realize. I was like, oh, is that the official one or the bootleg one? So I hope I didn't. So for the people that's officially connected to the screening, if I posted the bootleg version, I apologize. I didn't realize that till I sent the newsletter. So y'all let me know if there's an official one and a bootleg.
well, there might not be an official one. So
Okay.
I actually was going to thank the person who filmed the bootleg one because without the bootleg one, we wouldn't know what was going on. So I just haven't had an opportunity to watch it, but I'm grateful for that bootleg version.
There you go. There you go.
And right before you came on, C Liegh, we were talking about because today's is Jesse Johnson's birthday, about the album, the blues album he recorded with Sue Ann Carwell called Blues in My Sunshine. I don't know if you ever need it. Oh yes, we definitely need it. I normally would have my setup and I would have brought in the church organ for Brother C Liegh, but I don't have my setup today. I'm mobile, so it's a little janky, but it's okay. We are going to do it.
Yeah, I think somebody put in the comments that it is available on YouTube. I think I forgot.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of them. That's one of them projects. That project with Jesse and Sue Ann is one of those projects where you realize it's a lot of talented people, and that not everything. It's just so much good or great art out there that not everything gets the light that it should get, if that makes sense. Like I'm sure we all know like local artists, and you know that this person is dope, but for whatever reason, and it's not always, conspiracy or they hate. It's just sometimes there's just so much good stuff. And so that's one of those projects where you just listen to like, yeah, that's like, and I wonder if that would have been like Southern Soul would have been kicking back then, the way Southern Soul is kicking now, with that album would have gotten more shine on like that Southern Soul network, where people would have found a niche there to where it didn't really have that niche back then.
Yeah. What year did that come out?
It wasn't that long ago, actually. I can't remember. Hold on.
Okay.
Let's see if I can figure it out. With the quickness. That can't be. Let's see.
Yeah, because I'm sure Jesse's playing on that is
2010.
2010.
Yeah, 2010.
Yeah, Southern Soul was just starting to really kind of bubble up.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's see. Dr. Claw is saying, you know what I did this past week? I played the 2 versions of Do Yourself a Favor, Prince, Jesse, back to back. I remember the first time I heard the Prince version, my eyes were wide. And then I was surprised that it had the same basic arrangement. Yeah, it's really interesting. And then there's also the other version. There's like 3 versions out there too, like the original version. Yes, 2010 it is. And then go ahead.
You know what surprised me about Prince's version is, and maybe it wasn't, but I was surprised that he at the end went into the Jamie Starr persona at the end, because because like the song itself doesn't seem like a Jamie Starr song. You know, it's a kind of vulnerable song, and I wasn't used to Jamie Starr showing up on a vulnerable song, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I think Jesse has 2 versions too. He has a Shockadelica version, then he has like a slightly remixed with a heavy guitar intro version where he's playing, which was the flip side of Baby Let's Kiss, which was quite dope, by the way. But it's always been a dope song to me, so I like all the versions.
I like all the versions. Yeah. It's a really fantastic song. It really is. I love this. The Willie version is a precursor to Omar and Kim. Okay. And then JD, thank you so much. So going back to the Purple Rain celebration screening in, I guess it was this past Sunday. So JD is saying that the crowd was very energetic for the entire movie, and it felt like the first time I saw it back in *84. That's saying a lot.
Yeah, it
is. JD, is energetic a euphemism for rowdy? Back when y'all was rowdy player. And look at, if you haven't seen the Q&A, I thought they were gonna need security for the but JD, is that a euphemism for rowdy? Was you old jokers just happy to be out the house? Boy, look, y'all see the tape, but them jokers was rowdy, boy. I mean, these old people having their children grown and gone, and they get their old bus out the house and go somewhere.
So we got a weekend
pass. JD in the crowd now. Let's see if you see JD in the crowd and see if he one of them rowdy people.
Oh my God, that is hilarious. So JD is saying energetic equals enthusiastic. C Liegh.
Hey, better than sitting there being quiet. I'm not mad at that. No arrest.
Yes, and Vanessa says people talking at the screen is an energetic audience.
Well, yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right. So week 22, and Prince didn't record any songs this week, didn't do any studio visits this week, just like last week. So our What Did Prince Do This Week session is going to be super short in terms of that part, but we also have our Black music section as well as our Purple music section. So those will be longer than What Did Prince Do This Week. So you can see that on Sunday, basically the music for the credits for the film Purple Rain were edited, and we'll read about it in a hot second. But other than that, that's all that happened. And we are at the end of May because we're into June. And in May, as a recap, Prince only, and we don't even know if this is correct, roughly 3 songs with 3 studio visits. Possibly Roadhouse Garden. That's what Duane said. That's the reason why it has a question mark. And then definitely Our Destiny, Basic Tracking, alongside an unreleased song called Most Likely To. So that's pretty much what happened in the studio for all of May, because, you know, we are in heavy Purple Rain film season around this time. So I'm sure there's a lot of other things that Prince has to take care of. So we are going to do our reading. Does anybody want to do the reading today? C Liegh?
What page?
So it's page 329 in the expanded edition. It's entitled Sunday, May 27th, 1984, Music for Credits of Purple Rain.
329, sure. And again, Brother Tudahl, we love you, but you know I have to always say, I'm gonna need some bigger font, brother. I'm gonna need some bigger font when you do that next one. You know, we taking that alcohol and that Bengay now. We into that bigger font now.
Lee Christian is saying, "Do you got your magnifying glass?"
There you go, brother Lee. There you go, man. I know that brother Lee was my brother for a reason. My brother from the UK. Thank you, brother Lee. There you go. All right.
Not the magnifying glass.
Man, look here. All right, look here. Music for the credits of Purple Rain, edits and mixing, Sunset Sound, Studio One assumed, unknown start time, producer Prince, although he was not present, artist Prince, engineer Peggy McCreary. With the movie basically finished, Prince commissioned Peggy to create a music bed for the credits that would consist of the music presented in the film. He was not involved in the session, but was likely in charge of reviewing the edits and mixes on a future undocumented date. Status: there were 3 different mixes done for the movie. The version that was used in the movie was edited from 8:27 to 5:22 to fit the credit bed. That's it.
That's it. But I personally love the end credits. It's one of my, especially when it starts off. I don't know if you guys remember how it starts off. And if you don't remember, there's the end credits video and the accompanying playlist, so you can refresh your memory. Or if you have your 4K version going on, you can actually put that on and watch it. Because I really love the end credits for Purple Rain in particular. I love all of them. And obviously we all should know that it ends with "May you live to see the dawn." So that's, you know, something that I always waited for. So, and I am also a credit watcher in general for all films. So I think, yes, I read the credits as well. They're so important.
No, I wanted that. Like when it was in the movie and you're sitting there at the movie and it goes off, and I was like, man, they gonna release that? That should be a B-side or something. Like I wanted that. That was like the first, and I wasn't, so I didn't get into. I didn't never get really into hip hop, so I didn't get into quote mixtapes, right? But that was like, you know, you would go to the club and how DJs would mix in the club. That's what it reminded me of, and I just wish somebody would have. I was like, man, they should release that. I could see that in the club or something. So it was like my first precursor to mixtape designs that I wanted.
Yeah, and I love this comment from Lee Christian, and Lee Christian is saying, it was the only time I've ever seen a mega mix of the songs you heard. Is there another example of that at the end credits? Especially the way that it starts off.
Yeah, it's like a weird drum beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome. I don't know.
I mean, Lee Christian brings up an interesting point. That's the only movie that he did that for. Like, he didn't do it for Under the Cherry Moon or say Graffiti Bridge or like Sign of the Times. It was just that one.
Yeah. I think it was a really great formula.
I mean, considering that was kind of done right as hip hop was kind of getting its early seeds, it was kind of just starting to kind of come up.
Yeah.
That so he had the foresight to do that.
Yeah, indeed. And Lee Christian is saying, I can't think of any movie at all. I can't either.
Yeah. And again, you're right. I would say, and I'm just trying to invade memory, the way Graffiti Bridge ends, that song is kind of like a mashup, if that makes sense. It's not the same as what happens at the end of Purple Rain. If you think about how the outro for Graffiti Bridge on that, it's like a mashup, so it's similar but not as technically executed as he does at the end of Purple Rain.
Yeah. I really love this comment from Dr. Claus saying P went all out for Purple Rain. I mean, it's your first film, so
First time out the box, got to do it. Got to make it
yeah.
count.
And Dr. Claus saying, which reminds me, the UBXA is going to be in my hands soon. Very excited.
Right, break it down for the untechnical folks, the untechnological folks. Break it down.
Yes. Break it down for us because Michael Dean is not here for us.
Yeah.
Yes. And Vanessa is saying, yes, I have seen The Idolmaker. And the final shot of the kid backlit is the same shot from that movie. I did not make that connection, so I got to watch The Idolmaker again.
Vanessa, not only have I seen The Idolmaker, grew up with it when it was on HBO, and then just recently, like a year or so ago, I decided, because it was one of my favorite childhood movies, you know what? This needs to be in the collection. I went online, found the DVD, and ordered The Idolmaker. And I'm going to say something that's going to make C Liegh sound like a hypocrite.
Okay.
That movie does not age well at all. if there's any movie that need a Me Tooing, that movie needs a Me Tooing worse than any other movie. That's all I'm going to say. So if you don't remember The Idolmaker, here's what I'm going to say. This is my PSA for the day.
Okay.
If you were like me and you love The Idolmaker as a preteen teen, do not watch it as an adult.
Let's go shatter
because you will feel creeping in more than one way. That's it. I ended on that.
Hey, well, look, P was a big fan of say, the Idolmaker movie.
Yeah, I know, exactly. And when I put it on, like I'm in my 50s now, so when you're in your 50s now, and I put it on, I'm like, yeah, Idolmaker, this used to be my joint. Every time it was on HBO. And there's a scene with a girl in the car, and I'm like, oh, is that what happened? If that's that scene was about.
God.
Yeah, boy, those early 80 movies will do that to you sometimes.
Yeah.
Yes, Dr. Claus. He did. It did. But yeah, so again, keep sometimes it's best to keep your childhood memories sacred.
Yeah.
and not revisit some of that old art we liked.
Yes. But speaking of The Idolmaker, like during the Erotic City 40 Symposium, Dr. Cooper had actually mentioned the film The Girl Can't Help It. She was just said, watch The Girl Can't Help It. And she was like, that's all I'm going to say. So I don't know why, but I was compelled to buy the Blu-ray of The Girl Can't Help It just because Dr. Cooper said. And it's such an amazing film. And I didn't realize that it was actually Little Richard's first appearance in a major motion picture. And the color is just like stunning, but the performances were amazing. And I highly recommend, if you watch The Idolmaker, to also watch The Girl Can't Help It. It's just a really great rock and roll film.
Yeah.
And it's edited very well. It looks very good. It's very funny. It's something I think that all of you will enjoy. What's your thoughts on The Girl Can't Help It, C Liegh?
One of my favorite childhood. It's funny how many of those movies we saw as children, and we only had 4 channels, right? When you think about it, we had ABC, CBS, NBC, PBS, and if you were lucky, if you had that TV with the 2 knobs, you could turn that bottom knob and turn that top knob and hold your mouth just right and get a 5th station. So that was one of my. And people forget that in the 80s, the 50s was in vogue, right? That's why you had the Grease movies come out. So the 50s were making that comeback. So The Girl Can't Help It, and it was another movie. It's not called Rock Around the Clock, but The Girl Can't Help It was a movie that when it came on TV, either on a Saturday or a Sunday, because it was that whole bunch of Shirley Temple movies, whole bunch of Abbott and Costello stuff. But yeah, so I think that's a seminal rock and roll film that everybody should see, not only to see the foundation of rock and roll, but to see how the foundation of rock and roll was basically the impetus driving everything. I end on this. Columbia Salam, who's a great poet, scholar from New Orleans, he says that Black music drove everything that was American culture, including American cinema and American technology. That is that if you look at American cinema and American technology, they are advancing to keep up pace with black music. And I think The Girl Can't Help It is a great example of that. That's it.
Amazing. And I also love this comment from Dr. Claude. Says the early 80s grasped me so much for how problematic some of the art can be in hindsight, considering how very square the mainstream society was then.
Yeah, it was very conservative.
Very conservative.
But you know what that speaks to? The hypocrisy of Victorian ideals. See, the problem with American culture is that it embraced and patriarchy, and those things are built on those Victorian ideals where men oppress, particularly white males, oppress everything, including the sexuality of white women. So Dr. Claw is very right to pinpoint that hypocrisy, but that hypocrisy is rooted in those Victorian. Remember, the Victorian ideals wasn't just that men were supposed to dominate and control, that women were not supposed to enjoy sex, that sex was just a duty for women. And teaching those Victorian ideas of sex being just a duty was a way in which men could be the only, and particularly white males, could be the only free sexual beings. Hence, you have that dichotomy of the squareness, which is the hypocrisy. That is why you had the explosion of the 60s and 70s, particularly with the hippie movement, because what people don't realize is that the hippie movement was young white teenagers becoming aware of the hypocrisy of their parents. That's why the hippie movement became aligned with the Black Power movement, right? People forget the hippie movement was not aligned with the Civil Rights movement. They were not aligned with King and them. They were aligned with Malcolm X and them. They were aligned with the Black Panther Party, because again, it was exposing that hypocrisy. So yes, the Dr. Claw is spot on, and I think we don't do a better job of excavating that hypocrisy and to see how that hypocrisy around sex and sexuality and race and class lingers into the day. That's it. I'll shut up.
All right.
Dead on it.
Dead on it, as always.
Black Album plug.
Yes. So we're actually at the end of What Did Prince Do This Week, but we're not finished. And we're not going to go over all this because nothing's really changed. And we're going to go to our music break. First of all, it is a good day, anytime, all day, air day, that Andre and Big Boy are together. And Andre recently played the Atlanta Jazz Fest, which happened this past weekend. So that's the reason why he was in the ATL. So I just wanted to, give them a shout out, because this is always so beautiful seeing them together.
Yep, always good to see the homies.
Yes.
Keep that slide there for just a second.
Yeah.
Friendship being displayed.
There you go. For those of you who are not familiar with Bomani Jones is one of the few people that I listen to simply because of his mind. He's a sports and culture journalist, but he's just started a new series on YouTube titled Hip Hop in 1994. And he is, for you hip hop heads, he is evaluating the seminal hip hop albums of 1994, because again, I'm not a hip hop head, so because 1994 is supposedly a seminal year in hip hop, and I'm sure brother Wyatt and sister and Prop Duff can tell me that, because I don't know, but the second, either the first or second episode is on Outkast's first album, and it is amazing. So if you want to hear about 1994 and you want to hear about Outkast's first album in 1994, Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music, I'm surprised I got that title right. Check out Bomani Jones. It's called The Right Time with Bomani Jones, and check out his, I think it's the second episode of his 1994 series, Southern Player Cadillac's Music. And he really breaks down not only why that album is great just as a work of art, but why it is historically and culturally significant. That's it.
Certainly a game changer. I will say that. I would definitely say that about that album. Certainly
it's actually my favorite Outkast album, and all of them are amazing. But I remember when I was doing my radio show, I did a love letter to the ATL, and I remember that I had the most songs from Southern Playalistic, which was surprised me. Um, and that just is really it's really a love letter to the Dungeon family, and more specifically, Rico Wade and just the whole Dungeon crew. Because like CeeLo's even on that. I mean, just like everybody was on that album.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just really loved when they were together. Similarly, we don't want to go down there, but yeah, it's a really great album.
Let me ask you a quick question. When you did that radio show, was that before or after Speak About Love Below?
It was after.
Okay.
It was after, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll probably have to send you the file. It's on Mixcloud, but if you have too many songs from one artist, for whatever reason, you can't listen to it in the US, but everybody else can listen to it. So I'll see if I can find it. It's actually one of my favorites that I did, because I love, Atlanta hip hop in particular a lot.
Yeah.
That's really my hip hop, with the exception of like Tribe Called Quest and Snoop Dogg. Because when I was really excited about Snoop Dogg when he came out, because he sounded Southern,
Yeah.
Right.
and his parents are Southern, so I was like, duh. So
Yeah.
it really clicked.
Meridian, Mississippi. His people is from Meridian, Mississippi.
That's right. You got it. So I know I talked about this last week, but I'm going to talk about it again because it's so darn important. Everybody and their mama should watch the Stax
Yes.
documentary. It is
Yes.
so important.
Yes.
So, Ricky, tell it. I talked about it, so let's have you talk about it.
It's just phenomenal. I mean, they really did it justice. I saw the very first documentary from years ago. I think it's called Soulsville. It's on DVD, and that was in depth, and I thought that was good. This one, when they advertised this, I thought it was just gonna be a one shot. I didn't realize it was gonna be four like, episodes, but they did a great job of really diving into from start to finish in terms of Stax. I think it should be, I know required viewing in every music class. I think it should be say required viewing in every American history class. It's just that important because it covers the bases. I mean, it's primarily music based, but it talks about the struggles that they had from, with King's assassination, and then Al Bell having to, climb the mountains that he had to climb, and you don't realize that when you hear about Stax, or say when people used to talk about Stax, they kind of just talked about the music, the Otis Redding passing away maybe, and then they would jump to the, maybe Isaac Hayes, and then jump to the Whack Stax concert, which, you know, I always chuckle because when I heard that the admission fee was $1. I was like, man, they couldn't pull that off today. It was $1 to get into a concert of nationally known artists. I mean, I tried to imagine like who could pull that off today, where you would just go somewhere like in the Dome in Atlanta and you charge a concert for $1. Do you know how many people would show up for that? But it's just I've watched it twice. And that's like I think the first time I watched all four, I was kind of like, I'm gonna have to watch this again because I'm afraid that I may have missed something.
Mm.
And it's little, tidbits, but it's just a phenomenal documentary. Very well done. Stax doesn't always get the love that Motown gets.
Yep.
And that, you know, could be primarily because like they said like the documentary, like Al Bell said, Stax was primarily appealed to like the African American audience, southern radio, southern states, like they honestly were very big that way. Motown had a bigger crossover appeal. Stax didn't have that. And so over the years, like like Motown gets, I guess their story gets glamorized a lot. Stax doesn't get that love. And it's good to see him get that love. With this and so whatnot. I mean, I could go on, but it's just a phenomenal documentary. I think all music lovers should watch it. Yeah, I mean, so um, I think Try a Little Tenderness still cranks. Like hearing her sing it.
All the songs are so.
Yeah.
I'm a massive Isaac Hayes fan,
Yeah.
and I was so excited. Just almost one episode is dedicated to Isaac Hayes, which I think is so so important because Isaac Hayes doesn't get enough love. Because his career was phenomenal, not only as a solo artist, but also as a producer.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just so funny. Like recently, I found out that he had produced this album by Donald Byrd and the Blackbirds that I didn't know about. Yeah, and it's amazing. And I always knew the album. It's just that I didn't know because I just recently.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So like in addition to like the Stax productions, he was doing a lot of other productions too. So I do want to do like a deeper dive into Isaac Hayes' actually production discography. So
yes. One of my bucket list places to visit is at the Stax Museum.
Actually, my mom, my sister, and aunt, we went several years back. And it's my mom's favorite vacation we've ever been on. And I highly recommend going to Memphis. All the folks are so kind and there's so much to do and see. But the Stax Museum was definitely the highlight. They, at the time, I'm sure they still do, they had one of Isaac Hayes' cars in the museum rotating. And it was something to behold. So I highly recommend that you go to the Stax Museum. For sure. And we also went to Graceland and we had an amazing time there. So it's just like, a lot to do. And then there's also Sun Studios, and there's just so much to do in Memphis. So highly, highly recommend it for sure.
I always, just being a bass player, Doug Dunn was a Jamerson for Stax. And so, those growing up, it's funny. We get little tidbits, like they were the musicians for the Blues Brothers. And then like C Liegh said, for those of us that grew up in the 80s, when you had those 4 channels with HBO, the Blues Brothers was in heavy rotation on one of those stations. So like we would all, Steve Cropper, Doug Dunn, all those guys, they were in the movie. I didn't realize for years later that, that was a house band for Stax. So.
Yeah, I would say 2 things, and Brother Wyatt, I ain't gonna lie, I was on my over male when Prof Duff said something about the documentary. I was on my male tough guy because she said something, and it's kind of like, and I guess people who don't know my background, I'm a poet and a short story writer, but I do a lot of social political work, and so she said that, look, it's a great documentary, but it's gonna make you mad. And because of the work I do, I'm a cynic. So because of the work I do, I'm like, you mad, that's what it is. I was on my, that's what it is. You get mad about the truth. But then, so when I went back and watched it again, I was like, you know what, she right, I'm mad as hell. I'm gonna go, I'm gonna slap face out somebody. And it's important that she mentioned that, because as both of you said, it's important to understand the social political matrix that was surrounding Stax. And so I'll end with 2 things on Al Bell. Al Bell said something, and I think people missed it. He said that what the dominant culture does, they do 3 things to Black culture. First, they try to colonize it. Then they try to copy it. And then they try to destroy it. So first we're going to try, well, it's in reverse. He said, first we're going to copy your culture. So that's the first thing we're going to do. We're going to copy it. If we can't copy it, then we're going to colonize it. We're going to buy it from you. And if we can't buy it from you, we'll destroy it. That's what happened to Stax. And I think it's important because, as both of you alluded, as all 3 of us being around the same age and being children, we saw those Stax records in our parents' collection with those Motown records and didn't think anything of it. Like, in my mind, Stax was RCA, was Columbia. Like, I had to become like a college student to go, Damn, you mean a little bit of Stax? That was like I didn't know that Stax wasn't a major conglomerate.
Yeah.
And I think that's important to understand that Stax scared the hell out of the industry because what Stax proved is that artists, particularly black artists, could take control of their destiny. And the reason that's important, and I want to land here because I want all of the Prince heads, I want all of the Prince scholars to understand why that's important. When Prince was in the thick of his battle with Warner Brothers, it was Al Bell from Stax. Al Bell, the government of America tried to put Al Bell in jail because Stax was too popular. There's no way around. I need y'all to understand this. A record company was so threatening to the powers that be that they tried to put Al Bell in jail. This dude beat, however, put it this way, Al Bell beat more charges than Trump. How about that? And when Al Bell, and so the same man that the government tried to put in jail is the man who helped Prince circumvent and navigate Warner Brothers with Bellmark Records to give him the most beautiful girl in the world. So yes, it is important that you make that artistic and social political connection. And what me and Sister Duff have been saying, that we would love to know that conversation. What was that conversation like? And I also want to know why, after Prince finally got free of Warner Brothers, did he do the distribution deal with EMI rather than doing it with Bellmark? Because here's what can't be denied. Bellmark gave him a #1 hit. He gave him the distribution. Now, let's also be clear, Prince sold the hell out that record. Like, let's be, like, Prince was in there in Monaco with the Prince, with his name looking like a big-ass float. Singing, right? Y'all remember the symbol looked like a big old float, right? Yeah. So Prince did promote the record, but I think it's important that when we are watching the Stax documentary and watching, and I'm glad that Prof Duff did, because I wasn't really zeroing in on how important Al Bell was, and and understanding that there is a legacy and a history of struggle and art. That Prince goes right back to that. So if you guys haven't seen that Stax documentary and don't know who Al Bell is, please make that Stax, Al Bell, Bellmark, most beautiful girl in the world connection. Because as it turns out, the most beautiful girl in the world is now not only an important record because it's just a solid record that was a #1 hit for Prince. It is also a historical and social political record that needs to be studied in that way. I'll shut up.
Thank you so much, C Liegh, for saying that, because like a lot of times, sometimes when we start talking about people that are not Prince, some people say, why are we talking about this? There is a direct connection of Prince to Stax, just being independent, but also the Al Bell connection directly with the most beautiful girl in the world. So thank you for that. Because sometimes, I'm mindful of time and I do things more quickly than I probably should. So thank you for slowing us down and really making those connections for people in case they did not know. It's really important.
Yeah, plus it shows Prince was a historian in the music. And we forget that sometimes, that he, like he really was a historian of music. Like he studied, and it's no coincidence that he chose, Bellmark and Al Bell, given that, because he grew up as Al Bell was beating those charges and going through that struggle. So it's not unlikely that he probably knew, if someone knows how to, handle this thing, say with Warner's, it would be someone like an Al Bell.
Right. Indeed.
So I'm putting it out in the atmosphere. I've done it already in email. I need either Prof Duff, Brother Dean, Dr. Funkenberry, Tanya Pendleton, all y'all great creators out there. I need somebody to interview Al Bell. Do not let this man leave us without somebody interviewing Al Bell and getting that thorough history. How did Prince approach him? What were the conversations? Did he have a conversation with Prince after Warner Brothers? Do not. I'm begging you guys who are these creators and doing this history in a way. Do not let Al Bell die without somebody. Was it Prince's friend? What's the brother over there in London with his girlfriend who do the piece?
Casey Rain, the Violet Reality,
yes,
and Funkatopia.
Funkatopia, India, somebody. Do not let Al Bell leave this earth without some Prince scholars doing a thorough conversation so we can have that history documented. That's it.
Yes. All right. Okay. So we got more music break information. So there's a brand new video from the live album that is going to be released from Bilal. As you all know, I'm a huge Bilal fan. You can watch this video in the accompanying playlist. It's one of my favorite songs off of the unreleased Love for Sale, All for Love, and it's Bilal accompanied by Questlove on drums, Robert Glasper on keys, and Burness Travis. Don't sleep on this. And then on June 9th, there's going to be a live stream of the entire concert. It's only $10. $10 is nothing nowadays compared to an actual concert. So I hope that you guys will support Bilal. It features, like 20 plus years of all his music. And if you watch the videos, you'll see the quality in which they filmed the performance and everything. So I hope that you guys will seek that out. And then I also hope that some of you will buy the album. They're actually releasing it on vinyl. It's coming out. I guess the entire album is coming out on June 14th on all streaming platforms. But then you can also order the album if you'd like I already have, because I think it's really important. And I love Bilal, as most of you know.
Okay. They're taking it back to the neo-soul days.
Yeah, they really are. And Common's there too. But I haven't seen anything with, they haven't released anything where Common's involved yet. But I'm sure they might do something from Light Water for Chocolate, I think, which would probably be amazing.
It would.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to this. So I hope that you guys are too. And then I am going to continue to plug Corey Henry's tour, because like last week, he mentioned that he's going to have to cancel shows if people aren't buying the tickets. And there's no way that Corey Henry should be canceling shows. And he put up another tweet this past week that's just kind of heartbreaking. But he says, I just want to make music. It doesn't matter how many people hears it anymore. It's going to reach whoever it's supposed to reach. I care about leaving a musical legacy that represents me long after I'm gone. #music. I personally don't want to live in a world where there's no live music. So we have to support our musicians, and we have to support going to see their shows in particular. So please support Corey Henry. And if you've never seen him, you're in for a treat. And if you have seen him, you know what's up.
Yeah,
so
I say just support live music, period.
Yes, support live music, period.
Local artists or, national artists coming through. Just, get out, man, support live music. Being a musician, I know what goes into, I know preparing for gigs and, the hours and whatnot. And most musicians do it for the love, not for the fame. And, like Corey Henry is definitely one of those ones that does it for the love. And if you can catch him when you can. If there's anything that Prince's Transition has taught some people, is that, there are a lot of people that I regret not catching him when I know when he was here, when they should have. And Corey Henry is definitely one of those people. If you just, like Prince said, okay, real music said by real musicians, man, for real music lovers, you gotta take that and just support, and Corey Henry's definitely one that you would get your money's worth.
Yes,
you definitely get your money's worth.
And let me second that by giving a quick story about an idiot C Liegh can be. Okay. Because that's important what Brother Wyatt just said, because live music gives you a surprise that a club can't give you. Mm-hmm. Because live music, there's always the unknown. There's always the different variable. And so sometimes I tell people, even if you don't know who the live band is, go see them, because that's what live music is. Live music is not the record. Live music is however many musicians on the stage having a conversation. And so I can't tell y'all how many times I've gone to see a live band, wasn't even a genre I liked, didn't even know who they were. And within 5 or 6 minutes, just because it's live music and just because it's the conversation, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so glad I came here. Now, I'm going to give you an example by showing you what an idiot I can be. This was years ago. This was like 91, 92. Jackson, Mississippi was still having all the great festivals we used to have. And so Zap was going to be on. Roger and Zap was going to be on. So I was at the Roger and Zap stage for the festival. I had my spot, right? But Monica, my lovely wife, who actually is into more different kinds of music than me, she said, well, baby, look here. Roger and them ain't coming on for another 40, 45 minutes. Let's walk down to the other stage on the other end. And please forgive me because it's a popular group. Remember the reggae group that had the song with the TV show Bad Boys? What you gonna do? What's the name of that group? What's the name of that group? You remember the name? So somebody put the name of that group in the chat. But they had the song Bad Boys. And so Monica, like, she literally dragged me, y'all. She like, come on, let's just go check them out. And I was like all the way down there, like, dang, got but one damn song. I won't go down there and see nobody with one song. And so she dragged me down there away. And I'm thinking, all right, now Roger Zap about to start in a minute. You better not make me miss it. Look here. And I got down there, Brother Wyatt, and popped up. I knew like 9 of their damn songs. Monica, I almost missed getting back to Roger and Zap. And she was like, and so to this day, maybe that was 1991. To this day, when I'm feeling myself, Monica will look at me and go, they ain't got but one song, huh? Right? But it's just think of the great time I would have missed had I not gone down there begrudgingly, because I didn't want to hear this group with one song. And I knew like 7, and when I was singing them songs loud to anybody, she was like, look at Mr. Hidden Closet Reggae here. Like, I know I do. Like, look, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I didn't know I knew that many reggae songs because I'm not a reggae head. So anyway, that's why live music, and I'm not hating on DJing or going to the club or any of that. There is just something that happens when musicians are on stage having a conversation. And I think that spiritually, and maybe I'm thinking too deep about it.
Nope.
I do think that as live music has gone away, it has hurt the collective spirit of the community.
I agree.
So that's it. I'll say that.
Yes. All right. So there's I don't know. C Liegh, do you mind muting yourself? I think it might be you. I can hear myself again. Yep, that's it. Thank you. And I just wanted in the chat a while back, there's been a conversation about the song Star 69 because we had mentioned Common before. And yes, Star 69 is an album that was on, a song that was on Common's Electric Circus album. And for those of you who don't know, Prince played on Star 69. So again, you guys might be like, why are we talking about Bilal? Why are we talking about Common? Prince performed on Star 69. So there you go. So thank you, Dr. Claw, and everybody who had that conversation, because I'm always going like, what are we talking about? Yeah, so, yeah. All right, yes, Lee Christian, this is something I was going to mention when C Liegh was talking about the spirituality. There is a certain vibration that you get when you're at live music that only live music can give you. It's no substitute. It really isn't. All right, so now we're going to switch to our purple world. There's so much going on in the purple world, so we're not going to talk for very long, because otherwise we'd be here all day, and we ain't got time for all that. So what we're going to do is let me go through the slides with the quickness. Yeah, I just wanted, we already talked about this. I wanted to ask if someone had gone to the Purple Rain 40th anniversary screening, and JD did and told us all about the excitement and enthusiasm. Thank you so much, JD, for filling us in. If anybody else went and want to tell us anything additional, let us know. And then I'm super excited about this Purple Takeover. I really wish I could be there. And I'm so elated that we actually have C Liegh, who can actually talk to us about the Purple Takeover in New Orleans. So C Liegh, talk to us about the Purple Takeover, because you've been before, because you were there last year.
I went last year. I gave the keynote, but like all 4 days are wonderful. I have to give a shout out to DJ Soul Sister Melissa, who is an archivist, by the way. at Tulane University. She's a jazz archivist. So she's both a DJ and a jazz archivist. I want to say this first and foremost, that what I love about this is that she's keeping alive the spirit of Prince's philanthropic endeavors, because lots of sources, some of the funding from the events go toward various charitable causes in New Orleans. I know last year they were giving money to housing for battered women and it's women and children from domestic abuse. And so I love that DJ Soul Sister is not only keeping alive the music of Prince, she's keeping alive the philanthropic endeavors of Prince. They're going to be DJ sets. They're going to be showing. Last year they showed Purple Rain. This year is going to be a showing of Under the Cherry Moon. There's going to be a dance hall. There's going to be a dance off. And then the Sunday that I give the keynote, I'm super excited not only about the keynote, but after that, we're going to have some of the most noted poets reading poetry in the tradition of, and in the legacy of, and in the celebration of what I call the Purple Yoda, the Minneapolis genius. And one of those poets is going to be Dr. Mona Lisa Salor, who is the poet laureate of Louisiana. And she is the first African-American to serve as poet laureate of Louisiana, if I'm not mistaken. And so it's just a wonderful 4-day vibe. It's going to start June 6th. It's going to end June 9th. And last year I had a blast. And what I love is that there's so many people who come from all over the South. So it's not just a New Orleans thing. So if you're in the South and you're close to New Orleans, June 6th through the 9th, and you can't get, you're not going to be able to get the celebration. That's the thing. Last thing I want to end on. I'm glad that all of these celebrations are popping up around the country. Yeah. Because a lot of people just financially can't get the celebration. Not that they don't want to, not that they're not intended to. So I'm glad that people are celebrating Prince where they are. And what I also like is that they are contouring the celebrations to their local flavor. So the other thing about Purple Takeover in New Orleans is you're going to get a lot of New Orleans flavor. A lot of New Orleans food, a lot of New Orleans music. They incorporate bounce music into a lot of the DJ sets. Those of you who don't know what bounce music is, again, that's that Southern flavor. So I want to give props to DJ Sister Soldier. I'm not Lord, DJ Sister Soul, and the Purple Takeover, and that's it. And we had a great time last year, and I'm looking forward to have a great time this year. I love it so much that I'm gonna be there, and I'm gonna leave New Orleans late at night, and I got to teach class that Monday morning. So, so I'm gonna give my presentation, then I'm gonna participate in the poetry reading, then I'm gonna get right on. It's a 3-hour drive from New Orleans to Jackson. I'm gonna drive, so I probably get home about midnight, 1 a.m. I got an 8 a.m. class.
Wow, that's dedication.
Okay.
Yes, and we want to support the Purple Takeover. I love New Orleans. It's an amazing city. So I hope that you guys, if you're in the surrounding area, that you do. Let's see what JD is talking about. JD is saying, one cool moment from the Purple Rain screening, as I exit my car in the structure, Jimmy Jam walks by. On the way to the theater, we talked about the last time we saw it in a theater. Oh my God, that is such an amazing moment.
And you know what? I gotta say, I did watch part of that video. I want to give props to Andre and Jimmy Jam for being so enthusiastic about it. Even though I know they weren't in, say, the movie, they were very enthusiastic because it represented. Andre said something about being proud of their home being represented. Where they're from. And things like that. Their homeboy making it. Things like that. But they were very, very, very enthused not to be in the movie.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And I also like that they made the connections about their real life to things that were in Purple Rain, and then even Jerome making connection to what happened at the Battle of Bands, being a part of the conga line and Under the Cherry Moon. I was like, that's amazing. So Jerome talks about how Flight Time does. I'm not going to spoil it for you guys, but Flight Time did something to Grand Central. And what they did to Grand Central shows up in Under the Cherry Moon. So that's so I'm glad you mentioned that, Brother Wyatt, about Andre and Jimmy Jam giving specific things that happened in their real life that actually occur in Purple Rain and Under the Cherry Moon. So yeah, that was great about them being cool about them doing that.
And Prince remembering that. That's
Right.
Yeah. And also, I mean, just really quickly, the whole bat scene is actually from real life as well.
Yeah.
Jerome talked about that one time. So I'm going to go through these with the quickness because I actually have to go myself. So there's definitely Let's Go Crazy, the Purple Day in Houston on June 7th. So if you're in the Houston area, please support Craig Alexander. And then Andrea is doing another signing. She's in DC today, but will be at the Electric Fetus on June 12th at 6:30 p.m. There's going to be the Prince on Screen Images and Ideology. C Liegh, do you mind muting yourself? I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry.
And then it's going to be on June 17th and 18th at the University of Minnesota. Obviously, there's celebration coming up June 20th through 24th in Minneapolis. I'm really looking forward to the Revolution.
Man.
And Brown Mark in particular, like Brown Mark's bass playing, I just love.
Put the groove on the bus.
Yes.
Right.
And then I got to give a shout out to Funkatopia for creating this amazing website, princecelebration.com, where you can figure out what's going on in all of June in Minneapolis. And then also Funkatopia this past week did an entire episode about the single day tickets. So if you don't know, there are now single day tickets for Celebration. And then I'm super excited about the Com30 virtual symposium that we'll be having August 10th and 11th. There'll be more info coming up for that after all the celebration stuff. And then Andrea will also be doing a special, I think, like, we'll be talking about her other new book called Deeper Blues with Cornbread Harris, who is Jimmy Jam's father. But I'm hoping that they probably will do some sort of maybe performance together. I don't know that for sure, but I would think that might happen at this August 16th. And then we have a very smaller accompanying playlist, but you can see the end credits of Purple Rain. You can see the Stax documentary. You can watch the new Bilal video. You can watch Funkatopia single day tickets thing. You can see the live version of 15 Minutes of Shame. You can listen to Hootie Hoo by Outkast from Southern Player. That's where the phrase all day and day came from.
Hootie Hoo!
Yes, love that song. Oh my God. And yeah. And look at Theo. I'm so excited. Just over 3 months until Com31st Symposium. Can't wait because this album deserves all its flowers. That's right, Theo. Thank you so much for putting that in there. And I'm laughing at Nick Feldon. That's right, Hootie Hoo. That's what it's all about. All right. So thank you so much, my dear friends. I'm so grateful for the both of you. I thought I was going to be all by my lonesome, and you guys always come to the rescue. It means so much.
Never that.
All right. So Michael Dean normally takes us out. I hope he feels better soon.
Yeah, Mike, get better, brother.
Yeah. Who wants to take us out?
Well, I'm going to let Brother Wyatt take us out. I just want a Brotherly Christian put in. I just want to, because I saw Jimmy Jam talk about this a couple of years ago, that he actually lost the weight on purpose to get healthy. So I know a lot of times when people get older and they lose weight and they kind of look thin, people think that they're sick or something. But based on what I heard him say a couple of years, because I remember, because, like most people had that middle-age spread, got a little weight on it. But Jimmy Jam, from what I know and what he said, he lost the weight on purpose. So it's not he didn't get sick and lose the weight. He purposely lost the weight. And so, and shout out to all of us that get older. Once you hit 35, take care of yourself. Go to the doctor. Look, men. Stop being a chump. Stop trying to be all tough. Men, go check on yourself. Because, look, I'm a granddaddy now. I'm trying to be here as long as I can for my grandchildren. So take care of yourself. So I'm gonna shut up and let Brother Wyatt take it back.
So yeah. Okay. Just to piggyback off that, don't wait till the check engine light comes on. Go before then. You don't want to wait till then. But in the meantime, in between time, it's been a blast. See y'all next week. Same purple channel, same purple time. We're out.
We out. Thank you.